I think that all the different relationships have been amazing.
To eat, finally she goes to the bathroom. It's like word vomit. I asked her mom and her dad, love your daughter, appreciate her. I would just love to ask for her hand in marriage.
That was Kobe Bryant's daughter, Natalia, opening up about her past relationships, and the whispers surrounding her are wild. Word on the street is a few NBA rookies have been tied to her name, with one link standing out more than the rest: Bronny-James. In the world of basketball legacies, family names carry weight heavier than championship trophies. And no rumored pairing has fans buzzing louder than Bronny-James, the son of LeBron James, and Natalia Bryant, the eldest daughter of the late Kobe Bryant. Bronny, born in 2004, was raised as NBA royalty, hooping at Sierra Canyon in Los Angeles while carrying the pressure of his last name. But Bronny's journey hasn't been smooth. In 2023, he collapsed from a cardiac arrest during practice, a moment that shook the entire sports world. Against the odds, he bounced back strong, making history in 2024 when the Lakers drafted him with the 55th pick, creating the NBA's first father-son duo playing at the same time. Natalia, born in 2003, built her own spotlight. After attending Sierra Canyon 2, she went on to USC, diving into film studies while modeling and producing short projects that honored her dad's legacy. Kobe's tragic passing in 2020 only pushed her to protect and grow that legacy even harder. But here's where it gets even juicier. Natalia and Bronny had known each other since their teenage years at Sierra Canyon, with their NBA families crossing paths early on. Still, it wasn't until 2023, when both enrolled at USC, Bronny with basketball, Natalia with film, that sparks reportedly flew. By the summer of 2024, insiders close to the families were whispering that the two had quietly started dating. The romance stayed low-key, with the pair spotted together at campus events and even private family gathering, a love story quietly unfolding under the brightest spotlight imaginable. What made this rumored relationship so gripping wasn't just the fame, it was the pain both had already survived. Bronny had faced a terrifying health scare that nearly cost him everything, while Natalia carried the heartbreak of losing her father in a tragedy that shook the whole world. That kind of shared trauma created a connection way deeper than your typical young romance. The basketball world couldn't get enough. Fans were obsessed with the idea of a true fairy tale, the heirs of LeBron James and Kobe Bryant building a legacy together. People online even joked about Kobe James being the most hyped draft prospect in NBA history before the kid was even real. That's how wild the speculation got. But just as quick as the buzz started, it seemed to fade. By late 2025, the two weren't being spotted together anymore. Natalia pulled back from the public eye, locking in on her USC film studies and her creative projects, while Bronny buried himself in the grind of proving he belonged in the NBA, not just as LeBron's son, but as his own man. The weight of two legendary last names, constant media attention, and their own ambitious goals was simply too heavy for the relationship to survive. The spotlight was bright, but sometimes the pressure burns hotter than the spark. And here's where the story takes another twist, because Natalia isn't the only daughter of a basketball legend who got tied up in a hoops love story. Another name that had fans talking, Jasmine Jordan, the daughter of Michael Jordan, and her romance with college star Raheem Christmas. Their story wasn't just campus gossip, it turned into a real-life fairy tale that shook the basketball world in its own way. Raheem Christmas's basketball journey took him from the Virgin Islands all the way to Philadelphia for high school, before shining at Syracuse University between 2011 and 2015. He became a standout forward, stacked up all ACC honors, and built his name as a legit NBA prospect. Jasmine Jordan, born in 1992, was carving her own lane too. The youngest daughter of Michael Jordan and Juanita Vinoy, studying sports management at Syracuse from 2011 to 2014. Later, she landed a powerful role with Nike as a Jordan brand field rep, locking in on women's basketball deals. The two crossed paths at Syracuse around 2011 to 2012, with Jasmine deep into sports management while Raheem was making noise on the men's basketball team. At first, it was just casual hellos on campus, but soon it grew into something way more. Jasmine was spotted at his games regularly, cheering him on, even though they tried to keep things private. Because let's be real, dating Michael Jordan's daughter was bound to spark headlines. Their love held strong even when life got complicated. Rakeem was drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2015, then quickly traded to the Indiana Pacers. His NBA career didn't take off like people expected, with short stints from 2015 to 2017 before bouncing around pro leagues overseas in Turkey, New Zealand, and Mexico. But through all the ups and downs, Jasmine stayed loyal, proving this wasn't just a college fling. Then came the ultimate test, facing the most intimidating father-in-law in sports history, Michael Jordan himself. By 2018, Rakeem built up the courage to propose during a family gathering, and against all odds, he got MJ's blessing. That moment sealed it. Rakeem wasn't just another player chasing clout, he was family. Their love story hit a whole new level in May 2019 when they welcomed their son, Rakeem Michael Christmas Jr. That's right, Michael Jordan officially stepped into the role of grandfather, a twist that had the basketball world doing a double take. Seeing Michael Jordan, the most cutthroat competitor in basketball history, transform into a soft, doting grandfather became one of the sweetest twists the game has ever seen. Fans who once knew him as the ultimate trash talker now saw him proudly holding his grandson, and it melted hearts everywhere.
Absolutely. He is such a softie when it comes to my son, and he definitely has him wrapped around his finger already. So he definitely is just the most incredible grandfather you could imagine.
The pandemic slowed things down, forcing Jasmine and Rakeem to delay their wedding. But by 2022, the two reportedly tied the knot quietly, with Jasmine even rocking the Jordan Christmas name. Of course, fans immediately started buzzing about their son's future. Could he one day step on the court and become the most anticipated prospect in NBA history? Some are already predicting it, and the boy isn't even in middle school yet. Now, their life is fully family-focused. Rakeem continues hooping overseas while Jasmine balances brand management with raising their son. But if you thought dating Michael Jordan's daughter took courage, wait until you hear about the next baller, because this one got tied into two of basketball's most powerful dynasties. We're talking about Seth Curry and Kyrie Rivers, a love story that shows just how deeply the NBA family tree is intertwined. Seth Curry, born in 1990, grew up in the shadow of greatness as the son of former NBA sharpshooter Del Curry and the younger brother of Stephen Curry, the game's greatest three-point shooter. His road wasn't easy, going undrafted in 2013, grinding through the G League, and bouncing around NBA benches before finally carving out a reputation as a lethal sniper in his own right. Kyrie Rivers, born in 1989, came from her own powerhouse family, the daughter of legendary coach Doc Rivers and sister of Austin Rivers. She was a star volleyball player at Winter Park High School and the University of Florida, earning All-American honors before a short pro career in Puerto Rico. Later, she reinvented herself with podcasting and family life. Their connection was almost destiny. Seth and Austin Rivers were teammates at Duke in 2011 to 2012, and Doc Rivers even coached Seth briefly with the Clippers in the mid-2010s. By 2013 to 2014, Seth and Kylie were quietly dating, a relationship that grabbed attention not just for their NBA ties, but for the drama surrounding who Kylie had been linked to before. For years, rumors swirled that Kyrie Rivers had been romantically linked to Paul George around 2013 to 2014, and the whispers only got louder when reports claimed George allegedly cheated on her with a stripper, a scandal that led to a pregnancy and a messy paternity case splashed across headlines. By 2018, Paul and Kylie's chapter was over for good, with George moving forward as a father after the birth of his daughter Carter. Then came Seth Curry, who changed everything. In February 2019, he popped the question at a family dinner in Charlotte, with Stephen and Del Curry both right there to witness the moment. Later that year, in September 2019, Seth and Kylie tied the knot in Malibu with an all-star guest list that included Stephen Curry and Chris Paul. Their family grew quickly. They welcomed their son, Cash, in 2021, followed by their daughter, Cove, in 2023, locking in their next generation of the Curry dynasty. But not everything was picture perfect. The family drama hit peak awkward when Doc Rivers was coaching the LA Clippers, and Paul George, Kylie's ex, was on the roster. Fans couldn't help but read between the lines when Seth's playoff trash talk toward George in 2020 came off like more than just basketball. Many saw it as personal payback tied to Callie's past. By 2025, gossip blogs started stirring again when sharp-eyed fans noticed Callie's podcast credits suddenly changed from Callie Curry back to Callie Rivers. Instantly, divorce rumors exploded across social media. But so far, it looks more like online speculation than any real trouble in the marriage. And just when you think NBA love stories can't get more complicated, imagine dating the daughter of a legend, then becoming teammates with her superstar brother. That's exactly the path Damian Lee walked when he fell for Sydel Curry. Their story wasn't just about basketball. It was about fighting through setbacks and proving their connection was real. Before Damian Lee signed a two-way deal with the Golden State Warriors in 2018, his love life had already tied him to one of the most powerful families in basketball, Sydel Curry. Born in 1994, the youngest child of Del and Sonia Curry and sister to Stephen and Seth, wasn't just famous for her last name. She was a standout volleyball player at Elon University, later building her own empire through entrepreneurship, a wine business, philanthropy, and a strong presence on social media and podcasts. Their love story kicked off like something straight out of a movie. It was 2013 at an Elon basketball game. Sydel was in the stands, Damian was visiting from Drexel, and all it took was a glance on the staircase. They locked eyes, exchanged numbers, and within 6 months, they were official. By New Year's Day, 2015, Damian dropped the 3 words that changed everything. I love you. He sealed the moment with a necklace, and from there, their bond only grew stronger. What made this relationship stand out was that Damian wasn't handed anything. He had to earn respect, not just in the NBA, but from the Curry family itself. Unlike some guys who get by on names, Damian proved himself through hustle and dedication. In November 2017, Damian proposed, and less than a year later, on September 1st, 2018, the two tied the knot in Charlotte. It was a true Curry family affair. Aisha Curry stood as matron of honor, while Steph's daughters Riley and Ryan stole the show as flower girls. Their road to parenthood wasn't easy. After facing fertility struggles, the couple turned to IVF, bravely sharing their journey to inspire others. Their perseverance paid off, welcoming son Daxon in 2021, daughter Darren in 2023, and in May 2025, they shocked fans by announcing the natural birth of their third child, Diane. Their openness about the struggle and joy made them one of the most relatable NBA families out there. But behind the fairy tale, Damian's NBA career came with constant whispers. Critics questioned if his spot on the Warriors was truly earned or just family privilege as Steph's brother-in-law. He silenced the doubters in 2022 when he played a role in the Warriors' championship run, proving he belonged on the biggest stage. Still, Damian admitted one of his most nerve-wracking moments wasn't on the court. It was asking Del Curry for Sydel's hand in marriage. For a guy marrying into basketball royalty, that approval meant everything. Few stories capture the pressure of dating into basketball royalty like Damian Lee's. From the start, he's carried himself with grace, knowing exactly what comes with being part of the Curry dynasty. Instead of running from the Steph's brother-in-law label, Damian has laughed it off, showing a level of self-awareness and humility that's actually made fans root for him even harder. One of the juiciest subplots in his story has been the family loyalty drama. Fans love to joke about who Sydel cheers for when her husband goes head-to-head with her superstar brothers. It's the kind of wholesome yet awkward family storyline that makes people tune in, because even in the Curry household, game night gets complicated. For the wider basketball world, Damian's journey has become a beacon of hope for every overlooked player. From grinding in the G League to lifting an NBA championship trophy with Golden State, he proved that character and hard work can flip the script. And marrying into basketball royalty just added another layer to his legend. Now suiting up for the Phoenix Suns, Damian continues to carve his own lane, while Sydel builds her brand outside of her brother's shadows. Together, they've turned their personal story into one of love, resilience, and family integration that still inspires fans today. But not every NBA love story is so picture perfect. While Damian and Seidel warmed hearts, another relationship rumor nearly blew up an entire locker room. Paul George and Kyrie Rivers, a connection that sparked controversy, speculation, and family tension like the league had never seen before. Some say it was the most explosive romantic subplot in NBA history. Paul George, born in 1990, is an NBA All-Star forward known for his two-way game, a lethal scorer and elite defender who suited up for the Pacers, Thunder, Clippers, and now the Sixers. But off the court, his rumored romance with Kyrie Rivers was messy from the jump. Everything about it screamed complications, NBA families, superstar egos, and connections that made the drama impossible to ignore. The whispers started in late 2013, when George was breaking out with Indiana, and Kyrie was moving in NBA circles thanks to her father, Doc Rivers. Rumors claimed the two dated briefly, with sightings at events like the 2013 East PI sparking chatter after photos of George with a mystery woman spread online. Fans connected the dots, and Kyrie's name was soon dragged into the headlines. Then came the bombshell twist. The fling allegedly blew up when George cheated with Miami dancer Daniela Rajic, who later became pregnant. Gossip sites claim George even offered her $1 million to end the pregnancy. Allegations that fueled a fiery paternity case. By May 2014, George reconciled with Rajic, and over the years they went on to have more children together before finally marrying in 2022. But the fallout from the Kyrie Rivers rumors never fully disappeared. When George joined the Clippers in 2019, with Kyrie's dad Doc Rivers as head coach, the tension was impossible to ignore. Things only got more tangled once Kyrie married Seth Curry, turning this into one of the most awkward family webs the league had ever seen. The absolute peak of the drama hit in the 2020 NBA playoffs. After torching George on the court, Seth Curry was caught yelling, "You're a bitch," and fans instantly connected it to George's alleged history with Kyrie. It wasn't just trash talk. People believed it was personal revenge, rooted in years of family drama. That one moment became legendary, proof that NBA beef sometimes runs way deeper than the game itself. Basketball fans couldn't look away from the tangled web of relationships at play. Imagine this: Doc Rivers was coaching Paul George, the very man rumored to have hurt his daughter, while also coaching against his own son-in-law, Seth Curry. It was a storyline so wild it felt more like a soap opera than pro sports. Fans even speculated that Doc held hidden resentment toward George, and some believed it quietly affected the Clippers' chemistry during those years. The whispers didn't stop when George left the Clippers in 2024. Anytime his name came up, so did the rumors. The saga became embedded in NBA folklore, with fans constantly bringing it up in conversations about family ties, player movement, and locker room tension. It became the perfect example of how personal drama can spill directly into professional basketball. What made it even crazier was that neither Paul George nor Kyrie Rivers ever publicly confirmed their romance. Yet the alleged connection grew into one of the most debated and analyzed what-if relationships in league history. True or not, the story highlighted how off-court relationships can influence everything from coaching decisions to playoff intensity, and why fans still dissect every angle years later. The legacy of this rumored romance remains one of the most infamous intersections of family drama and basketball politics ever. Even if the details are cloudy, its impact on NBA culture is undeniable. And just when you'd think players would steer clear of dating basketball daughters after so much chaos, another surprising love story emerged. This time, it came in the college ranks. Montrezl Harrell and Randy Ewing. During one of college basketball's most turbulent stretches, the two quietly found each other. Montrezl Harrell, born in 1994, became known for his hustle and rebounding, powering Louisville to a national championship in 2013, before being drafted 32nd overall by the Houston Rockets in 2015. He carved out a gritty NBA career with stops on the Clippers, Lakers, Sixers, and even overseas. Meanwhile, while earning both a communications degree and a master's, Randy Ewing managed to keep a low profile, steering clear of the spotlight that came with her famous last name. Her romance with Montrezl Harrell began around 2012 to 2013, when he was dominating the hardwood for Louisville and she was making her mark on the volleyball court. Their relationship wasn't hidden. Randy showed up to his games, proudly supporting him through his rise in college hoops. But in 2015, everything around Louisville basketball went up in flames. when the infamous escort scandal hit. The allegations tied recruits and players to parties and illicit activities, dragging the entire program through the mud. Harrell's name got pulled into the rumor mill, but he firmly denied any involvement, pointing to his steady relationship with Randy as proof he wasn't caught up in the mess. Still, the scandal brought a cloud of suspicion and media pressure over every Louisville player, and for Harrell and Randy, it meant their romance was suddenly under a microscope. Randy, being Patrick Ewing's daughter, already knew what it meant to live under constant attention, but this controversy pushed their relationship into unwanted headlines. What made their connection fascinating was the way it tied two eras of basketball greatness together. Patrick Ewing's dominance in the paint stood in sharp contrast to Harrell's more modern, high-energy, versatile style. Being with Randy gave Harrell a direct link to NBA history, along with insight into what it takes to survive under that kind of spotlight. Fans even speculated that Randy's influence might have kept Harrell away from the chaos that consumed some of his teammates. Having a stable partner from a powerful basketball family may have kept him locked in on his goals rather than chasing the wild party life that destroyed others' reputations. But reality hit hard once Harrell transitioned into the pros. Between bouncing around NBA teams and carrying the weight of Louisville's scandal fallout, the relationship appeared to fade. Still, within the basketball community, many credited Randy with being a grounding force in Harrell's life during one of the most chaotic stretches of his career, helping him stay focused when everything else threatened to spiral. Ewing, born around 1993, carried her own basketball legacy as the daughter of Hall of Famer Patrick Ewing and Rita Williams. She made her mark in volleyball at Louisville, and together, she and Montrezl built a romance that had deep family roots written all over it. After college, Montrezl Harrell locked all his energy on basketball, while his relationship with Randy Ewing quietly faded into the past. No public sightings, no updates, just two people who shared a brief but meaningful connection that linked different generations of basketball royalty. Their romance may have ended, but it stood as proof of how NBA families often cross paths in unexpected ways during those critical college years. But just when you thought NBA players dating the daughters of legends couldn't get more complicated, another twist hit the rumor mill. Enter Kyrie Irving and Callie Rivers, a pairing that allegedly added a shocking new layer to one of the NBA's messiest webs of connections. Kyrie Irving, born in 1992, is one of the most dazzling point guards the league has ever seen. A magician with the ball, clutch in big moments, and a champion with the Cavaliers. His career has stretched across Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn, and Dallas. But off the court, Kyrie's name has carried its own set of controversies, from his infamous flat earth comments to his vaccine stances. And now he's settled into family life with Marlene Golden Wilkerson, marrying her in 2019 and welcoming two kids. The whispers about Callie Rivers surfaced back in late 2014, not long after her alleged breakup with Paul George. Rumors claim she and Kyrie had a brief fling, possibly meeting through NBA circles or mutual events while Kyrie was rising as Cleveland's young star and Doc Rivers was leading the Clippers. What made the story so fascinating wasn't the length of the relationship, it was how it fit into the bigger puzzle of Callie Rivers' name being linked to multiple NBA stars. The Kyrie connection, though unconfirmed and never backed by photos or public statements, fed into the ongoing narrative that Callie had become one of the most talked about women in NBA gossip. For Kyrie, the timing raised eyebrows. Fresh off Callie's alleged fallout with Paul George, many believed the fling might have been a rebound. And for the basketball community, this rumor was just another chapter in the wild crossover between NBA stardom and basketball royalty families. With Kyrie still early in his career at the time, the connection only made his story even more intriguing. Anytime a player got linked to an NBA dynasty family, it sent fans and media into a frenzy. And Kyrie Irving's rumored connection to Callie Rivers was no exception. The whispers came at a pivotal point in his career, right as he was building his reputation as Cleveland's future after winning Rookie of the Year and showing flashes of superstardom. The alleged romance with Callie reportedly happened during the stretch when Kyrie was shifting from promising talent to full-fledged NBA star. For fans who obsess over the league's relationship web, it wasn't just about Callie. It was about how this fit into Kyrie's bigger dating history, which would later include A-list celebrities and eventually his marriage to Marlene Golden Wilkerson. What made the rumors so fascinating was how they tied Irving directly into the Rivers family drama. If true, it meant Kyrie briefly dated the same woman who was previously linked to Paul George and who would later marry Seth Curry. That created one of the wildest crossover storylines in NBA gossip history, a tangled chain of connections that made fans see the league less like basketball and more like a reality show. At the time, Kyrie was still best known for his dazzling handles, clutch shots, and promise as LeBron's young co-star. This was before his name became attached to flat earth theories, vaccine debates, and polarizing statements that made him one of the league's most controversial figures. Looking back, the Cali rumor feels like a time capsule. Kyrie was still in his golden boy phase, not yet the lightning rod for headlines he would later become. Speculation also swirled about how Doc Rivers might have reacted if his daughter really was tied to Kyrie. Given Kyrie's later reputation for locker room drama and bold takes, fans couldn't help but wonder if Doc had early doubts. Still, the fling, if it even happened, seems to have been too short-lived to reach the point of serious family involvement. But in NBA circles, even whispers can echo for years. The rumored Kyrie Irving-Cali Rivers connection may have been short-lived, but it still lives inside the tangled web of NBA family ties that fans can't stop dissecting. Over time, the story faded into the background. Kyrie moved forward, eventually becoming an NBA champion alongside LeBron James in Cleveland, while Cali built her future with Seth Curry, creating yet another legendary basketball family union. Still, this alleged link remains a fascinating footnote, a reminder of just how small and interconnected the basketball world really is. Every relationship, every rumor, every tie seems to ripple across the league, sparking debates about family loyalty, player chemistry, and off-court drama that sometimes feels bigger than the game itself. And that's what makes stories like this so addictive. They're not just about points and rebounds, but about legacies, loyalty, and the kind of personal connections that shape how fans see the NBA today. So what do you think? Was this just a casual fling or another piece in basketball's most complicated family puzzle? Drop your thoughts below. And don't forget to smash that like button. Share this with your people, subscribe for more, and leave a comment with your take. See you in the next one.